Yo, man, what's this about?
Man, quiet, man. I'm trying to set my scene.
All right.
I called this council today, man, because I've been hearing some stuff. Captain Zariak coming out with that Carl Gas, Blue Magic. Yeah. And somebody leaked the ingredients. Don't nobody know nothing? Huh? Shit! Come on. Somebody gotta know something, man. Yeah. This is Delaware, man. We run a tight camp.
12 seconds later.
I know somebody knows something. Ain't that right? Don't you know something? Hmm? You don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing,
Huh? Come on, man. You supposed to be in charge, G-Money. You the man.
I don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing.
Stall him out!
It's a brand name, man. It smells great. And this shit can't happen again. Listen, man. Carl Gas, man. Blue Magic. It's the best smelling oil ever.
Nino! Snap out of it!
Snap out of it. I never liked swimming. Fresh brains having ass.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch. Fuck you talking about? If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade just line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. South Coast shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army.
If you just don't understand the connection that we have with the colored people. In other words, we work with them and they work with us. And we're not going to take him and push him off somewhere just because we could do it.
You tell these people that's what I've been telling them right here. Had we been your friends for years?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Had we worked more of them than anybody in this country?
Yes, sir. Sure have.
Right. You got hungry, we give you something to eat, don't we, Bill?
Yes, sir.
And his name is Billy Weatherly.
Billy Weatherly, that's right. No relations now, but these are Weatherly, right? How about him, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Try that name, Mr. Bill.
I expect that name came down to
Try
the
that
slavery
name,
time.
Mr. Bill.
Yes, sir.
Billy Weatherly.
Yes,
I think
sir.
everybody up there look like Weatherly.
Yes, sir.
How many people it is here in Pine Hill tonight at 12 o'clock you could go ask them for help and they wouldn't help you?
I am, but what?
Bill, if you got in trouble, who'd you go to, the white or the black? Tell the truth now.
That's a bad word, yeah, Bill, because put them on the spot because there ain't no color folks in here. You don't want to see them bad right by itself. But is there anybody here that wouldn't help you, Billy?
No.
We have always got along fine with the niggers. We never mistreated them. And there's no complaints. And they are all happy.
Right, all colored can get a here that is willing to pay the price.
Yes, sir.
The price is willing to do out a lot of things you think you got to have and work like the dickens.
How long you been working with PG?
Let me see. I don't know exactly, but it's been mind you 20 years, I mean.
Good folks, ain't they, Bill?
Yes.
Stayed sick a long time. They put you on a job that you could stay on, didn't
Yes, yes, sir.
Stand for a cigarette.
Yes.
Bill, did I treat you and your dad and your brother at all when you lived with me over there? Did I treat you right?
Yes, sir.
I went more than halfway with you, didn't I?
Sure did. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I did, too.
Yes, sir.
I said all that, and there was no sound on the stream. The water canal for that. Shalom. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, starting out at 1 West Hall, New York. I'm the Commander General Yohana. Tonight's the Wednesday night law class. And as you can see, we're going to be going into the Respectful Marriage Act, that law that was just passed by the president of these here United States. The United States that says that they are one nation under God. Like what God is this nation serving? Are they serving the God of the Bible? Are they do their actions line up to obedience to the word of God? These are questions that you need to ask yourself to really give them credibility in directing how you conduct your life and how you raise your family, how you raise your kids, because by these laws that these nations pass on us is how we govern our households. Right. And if we govern our households based on America's laws instead of based on God's laws, we're going to have a household that I hear echo. I hear,
it's that computer.
All right. Can you get him? Ask him, or see if you can turn that down. Yeah. The water. So yeah, that's gonna be bad. You got it.
Wow, sorry.
I think he's in the background. I think. Okay. Yeah, there we go. The wild. Yeah. So let's get Romans chapter 13.
Start at verse 1.
Yeah, we're gonna start at verse 1. Let me get there with you real quick. All right, you can get it wherever you got it.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1.
Oh, hold on a second. I got the wrong verse. All right, there you go.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Right. Let every soul. All right. So who's the book of Romans written to? So let's get a clear understanding of our audience here, because a Christian will open this book up, go to the book of Romans, and just start reading right there, 13th chapter, and doesn't add context to what they're saying or what they're reading. Don't go up to go and get a better understanding of who the audience is that Paul is directing this letter to. So who is the book of Romans written to?
So would the book of Romans be written to the Israelites that are subject in Rome?
So somebody just said how you could prove it. I heard that. You said what is it then? What was it again?
Would it be the Israelites that are subject to the Romans, like that?
I would agree with you. And now I heard a question. How can you prove it? That was a good question.
I remember.
Let's get Romans 1 and
that's what I was gonna say. In the beginning, it shows who the letter is addressed to. Is that where it's at?
Yep.
Okay.
That's Salakia for me. You know that's heavy right there, because that's what a lot of, like you said, a lot of Christians don't do that.
Right.
They have no idea. They just give a presupposition already that is for everybody.
Right.
And to me, that's the spirit of the oppressor, because the oppressor is the one, he has a spirit that he comes in and everything is his. Everything it belongs to us now. All of a sudden,
Right.
Like he came into North America, and now we're all neighbors.
Right.
You know, and that's with the same spirit our people we operate in. It's automatically all inclusive. It's automatically universal. So go ahead. You got it.
The water for that, because that's the truth. That's how America operates. It's funny that you say that, because it brings to memories this movie I was watching the day at my slavery called Texas Red, and it was about this slave that he wasn't a slave. It was in the 1940s. When this movie was taking place in Mississippi, and he was a guy that had a successful juke joint, but him and his partner, Oklahoma Kid, they was doing some burglaries to get the money. You know what I mean? So the people got a posse together, but basically they went on a run, and the guy, the bounty hunters or whatever that came in was like, we're the U.S. government. We don't need a special invitation to go on any type of land or anything like that, and chase whoever we need to chase. We're gonna go wherever we need to go and do whatever we need to do, because we're here now. This is our land. Wherever we stand our foot, we are the authority. That's how they think. This is their mindset. Wherever they place their foot at, they are the superior being in that place, you know, and that's who our enemy is. That's who our oppressor is. That's the pride of his heart that has puffed him up, you know, and that's why he says he's gonna go and build the desolate places. But then the Most High said he's gonna build, but the Most High said he's gonna throw down. You know what I mean? So yeah, read that for me.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 1.
Right.
Paul, a servant of Yahushua Mashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of God, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the holy scriptures.
Go to verse 7.
Verse 7. To all that be in Rome, beloved of God, called to be saints.
To who? To all that be in. So who's the all that be in Rome that he's talking about?
The next sentence.
Keep reading then.
Beloved of God.
Beloved of God. Beloved of God.
Called to be saints.
And called to be saints. Who are these people that Paul is referencing here? Go ahead.
Oh, I got the precept for you.
There you go. That's how we talk. That's how we talk here in the ISUPK. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 5.
Oh, sorry, Christ. That sounds good.
Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Right. So who made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice?
The Israelites.
Right. And when did we do that?
We did that in, was it after Egypt? That was in Exodus.
It was you could say the wilderness. I'm looking for the word to term the wilderness in the wilderness. It was definitely after Egypt. You were correct with that answer also, because it was in the wilderness. So that's after Egypt. You had your hand up. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is written to Israelites that just happen to be in Rome. All right. So you can relate that today. This is written to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that just happen to be living in America. All right. This is directed towards you. Because we ain't be like everybody else. Most High said we are a holy nation. Right. We're gonna get them scriptures about how we are to be separate. All right. Give me Romans 13:1.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Right. Let every soul Then we're talking. We know the audience is Israelites. Be subject unto the higher powers. Who are the higher powers that Paul referencing here? Is he talking about the judicial system, court system? Could he maybe be talking about that?
I always believe that to be the truth. That he's talking to the like your governments of like Esau's kingdom.
Okay. And anything else? Anybody else? Anybody got anything online? No? Okay. Let's keep reading. Let's see.
For there is no power but of God.
Mm-hmm.
The powers that be ordained, Salakia, that be are ordained of God.
Right.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
What's the word ordinance mean? Let's get that definition right here. I'm gonna type it. I got the Blue Letter Bible on my so it's pulling it up on the screen. So I'm gonna read it from right off the Blue Letter Bible. All right, where is ordinance? There it goes. Diatage or whatever how you pronounce that. Diagane. It says a disposition, arrangement, ordinance, disposition, arrangement, that is institution. Any more words here? We got okay, so it's basically the ordinance is basically the way you're doing things. All right, the way God does things. The ordinance, because we're talking about the ordinance of God, so it's the way that the Most High do things. All right. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of God. So does the Most High want same-sex marriage? Does he want this? Let me just play it real quick, just so we can so you all can see where I'm headed with this. You might want to play it on your phone so we don't have the TV in here no more.
Washington, President Joe Biden signed a bill to codify federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriages. NBC6 reporter Amanda Placencia will manage tonight with reaction. Amanda.
Yes, Shawan, and today was a huge moment for same-sex couples as their marriages are now federally protected.
Same-sex marriage. Marriage is now the law of the land.
Love is love. Right is right. Justice is justice.
On Tuesday, President Biden signed the Respect for Marriage Act. Respect for Marriage Act.
I think it's just a bit of hope in the air. You know, right now, where trans kids, trans adults are just under unprecedented attack. I think it feels really good for our community to see this win, for us to see this bipartisan show of support for our community.
Attorney Elizabeth Schwartz was at the White House ceremony along with one of the couples in South Florida who were named in the lawsuit that originally secured the right for same-sex marriage nationwide in 2015. The push for this new law began
Why is it cutting out?
The Supreme Court struck down abortion rights by overturning Roe versus Wade. There were some
There were some concerns that gay marriage would be next.
We knew that we had to act and we needed to codify this and make sure it was the law of the land, because they've already shown that something as precious as women's reproductive rights can be reversed after 50 years of precedent. Then we knew
Oh my gosh, I don't believe this.
that marriage equality having be the law of the land since 20 out on the chopping block.
All right, I'm gonna just stop it right there because I'm getting a lot of it's pausing a lot for some reason. It's very choppy. Salaka for that. I don't know what's up with that. I'm hardwired in, you know, but you can't. Satan can't stop the show. Right. We're gonna keep it going. You know what I mean? But that in that video, I don't know if you heard it, a couple of key points in that video that I just showed was is the video basically is the reporting of President Biden signing into law this Respect for Marriage Act. I'm gonna have it on the screen, the New York Times article, real quick.
Slovakia, sir.
Go ahead.
I thought this was one nation under God.
What? Like, what God are we serving? Right. These are things that Christians should be asking themselves. Like you're saying that it shows you that they have no respect for the Bible, no respect for God. It's just all words. It's all just empty words. It's vain. It doesn't mean anything. Their words are empty. Their words are hollow. Okay, so I'm gonna read a couple of lines from this article here. It says, as soon as this laptop is really acting stupid for some reason. It's acting so slow. So President Biden on Tuesday, it says this is the it says Biden signs landmark bill to protect same-sex and interracial marriages. All right, let's stop right there because should you're all right for your answer. You're saying that you always thought that this meant that we have to be in subject to the laws of the land, correct? And you are correct. Until what?
They go against God's law.
Do you have a precept?
Yes.
What is it?
You rather obey God rather than men.
And where is that at? That's exactly the one I want. Yep. That's exactly the one I want. We're going to get Acts 5 and 29.
Sir.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
That's what you have to really always keep in mind. That's your first line of business to get in order is obeying the Most High. Before anything, that's the first commandment. Loving the Most High God with all your might, all your soul, all your strength.
Right.
That's the first commandment. Like that's it. And how do you love the Most High? By keeping His commandments. And we're going to read a couple of those type of scriptures tonight to show that the loving God and keeping the commandments is synonymous. They're both the same thing. They're both that. The actions are the same. That's how you show that's how you show your love is by keeping the commandments, doing what you're told. Exactly. The Most High told us to do something, we have to do it. And the only way we can know what the Most High said do is by reading where He said it and who He said it to. He only spoke through the mouth of his holy prophets. Nowhere else did the Most High God speak. He only spoke to his prophets, and his prophets are all here in our records, in these records that we call the Bible. All right. So if anybody trying to tell you that that toilet paper is good, and that the Most High, the same God that we serve, spoke to that guy, Muhammad, and that toilet paper that he came up with is good, then we know that that's false, because that religion is a what?
It's a false religion.
But it's who are the progenitor of that religion?
Heathen religion.
Who?
Arab religion.
It's and who's the Arabs?
Ishmael.
Ishmaelites. There you go. They come from Ishmael. They didn't come from Isaac.
Right.
All right. And we know the promise, the seed of promise, is only going to come through Isaac, right, and through Sarah, and which in turn it come through Isaac, which in turn that seed, we're only dealing with that one seed right now, which in turn goes to Jacob.
Right.
All right. That's who the Most High chose. All right. Let me read this real quick. It says, Biden signs landmark bill to protect same-sex and interracial. Let me get that bigger on that screen so y'all can see this. It's a New York Times article. I'm just going to read some of it, so you can get an idea of what these just exactly what it does. Yes, of course my lap is unresponsive. Page is unresponsive right now. All right. It says President Biden on Tuesday after. You had a question? Sorry.
I was going to Google it for you. So
I have it right here. I got it. Throw out a word. It says President Biden on Tuesday afternoon signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law, granting federal protections to same-sex and interracial couples, and marking a milestone in the decades-long fight for marriage equality. Somebody help me out here. What's going on here? What's going on here? We're living in America, right? We say don't America say they're a Christian nation?
Right.
Or did that change? Did that change within the last 15, 20 years? Or are they still a Christian nation?
I think they is.
They're still a Christian nation, right? They still use the Bible. They still make people swear on the Bibles when they go to court and all that type of stuff. So they still respect the Bible, but they don't respect the God of the Bible. Because nowhere in Scripture is the God of the Bible okay with same-sex marriages. Nowhere. He's always dealt with these type of sins, and he's dealt with it strictly. He destroyed 2 whole cities for it, Sodom and Gomorrah. Like 2 whole cities he destroyed for this sin. All right, let's get some scriptures on it, man. Leviticus 18, I believe is where I want to go. First, no, let me get Deuteronomy first. I'm gonna deal with this. I want to deal with the interracial part of this first. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Starting with verse 1. Let me get there with you. All right. Whoever got it.
I'm a counselor. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whether thou goest to possess it, and hast cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
What? Say that part again.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shalt thou. You shouldn't even make marriages with them. Go ahead.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right.
For they will turn away thy son from following thee, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
The what?
The anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
Listen, we do not want to be in the anger of the Lord. Right. We do not want the Lord's anger to always be kindled against us because of these sins that we are committing against him. Because he chose. Keep reading.
I'm a counselor. Verse 5. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Where at?
On the face of the earth.
No, where are we at?
Deuteronomy chapter.
No, go back to the last half of that sentence, that verse. That last sentence in that verse. Above.
Concert. Above all people.
Where at?
Above all people.
Where at?
Above all people.
Above all people. Our problem is we always fighting to be equal. Equality. Look, even with the in this act that we were just reading about in the write-up that the Washington Post did, it talks about it mentioned something about equality in that write-up. Like we always focus on the wrong things, and that's why we need a reality check, and that's why we need this message to go out that we are the Israelites, that we are the Jews, so that we can have the self-esteem that's necessary that we need to have in order to love ourselves and love our nation again, and to love our people, and to know that we are above everybody that's upon the face of earth. To put them in their proper place in your mind. Put everyone in their proper place in your mind. Categorize everyone in their proper place in your mind so that you know, okay, I need to love my people first. These people, the Lord says they are what? They are nothing.
Right.
They are nothing, man, but be like unto spittle. Like, why do you want to be equal to nothing? Like, I don't understand that. It don't make sense. It don't add up to what the precepts in the Bible and what even scriptures in the Bible. It don't add up to anything in the Bible. Equality isn't in the Bible. It's nowhere in it. We just read the scripture that destroys the equality in the Bible. That all men are created equal, like America's Constitution will have you believe. And that's our problem. We believe man more than we believe God. And we have to come back to believing our power.
Right.
That says that we are above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. Keep reading.
I'm a concept. Deuteronomy 7:7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people.
Right. That ain't why the Lord chose us, because we were in great, we just had these great swelling numbers. Keep reading.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
We were the smallest nation. Go ahead.
But because the Lord loved you.
That's the reason why. It's nothing that we've done. The scriptures in Romans chapter 9 said, neither having done good nor evil, but let's get it real quick. Romans 9 and 11. Romans 9 and 11. Let me get there real quick. Oh, you can read that when you get it.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil.
Right.
That the purpose of God according to election.
That the what?
The purpose of God according to election.
That the purpose of God according to election. Go ahead, keep reading.
Might stand. Not of works, but of him that calleth.
Right. It ain't because of anything that we've done. It's ain't because we didn't do anything at this point. We're still in the womb. Right? We're still being formed. But before we came out the womb, the Most High called us. He knew that he wanted us. It wasn't nothing that we done, but it's just because the Most High chose us to put his love on us.
Right.
You know, and we have to honor his choice. Like respect the Most High's choices. Right. And to have the right self-esteem, you have to have the right respect for the Most High and his word. You have to put it high above everything else in your life and honor it to the utmost. Go back to Deuteronomy 7.
Deuteronomy 7 and 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, but you were the fewest of all people.
Yeah, right. The fewest of everybody. Go ahead.
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers.
Right. He swore unto who's the fathers that we talking about here? Who are the three that we always say that you have to keep these as your forefathers in order to what's the word I'm looking for? Be eligible for the benefits. Go ahead.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you don't hit all three of them, no, this ain't written to or for you.
Right.
It's just as simple as that. I mean, we can't put it no simpler than that, right? It's not written to or for you. It's written to the children of Israel. Keep reading.
Come. With the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord brought you out with the mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
All right. Read that part again. Which keepeth what?
Keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
Which keepeth covenant and what?
Which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments.
With them that love him and keep his commandments. Remember, I said that we were going to go to a scripture that shows you that loving the Most High is synonymous with keeping the commandments. It's one and the same. You can't do one without doing the other. If you say you're doing one without the other, then you are a liar. And the truth just ain't in you. That's just all it is. That's all it is. All right, you can drop that. Let me get Baruch chapter 3 in the Apocrypha.
So yes, sir. What's the other name for Baruch?
It's Baruch. It's all Baruch.
Okay, I know. Okay, I got it. Salakia. I found it.
Let me get there real quick. 1 second. All right, the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Start with verse 8.
Common concept. This is Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Say that again.
We are yet this day in our captivity.
We are yet this day, right now, in our captivity. So this is what? The living word. They only say this is the living word. This word is alive. We are yet this day in our captivity. Keep reading.
Where thou hast scattered us.
Right.
For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
Right.
Hear,
go ahead. No, get it.
Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
Right. That you start right there. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life, and give ear to understand wisdom. That's the only way you're going to get wisdom, if you give your ear over to the Lord. Take back your spirit from this place, man. You gotta have. You can't have be in the neutral zone. You can't be in the what you call that, the slow lane or whatever. You got to be active. You got to have a position. The Bible tells you what your position ought to be. We can't have a conversation dealing with same-sex marriage or dealing with interracial marriage, and your position and your thoughts on the subject doesn't line up with the word. Right. Like if your thoughts don't line up with what the Bible teaches, then you might want to start doing some studying so you can know what you ought to think, but how you ought to answer someone when you're having conversations, right? So that you know how you ought to answer every man. That's why the scripture says, study to show thyself approved unto God. The workman needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. We have to rightly divide this word. Let's go to book Baruch 2, go back one chapter. You go to verse 28.
Concept. This is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 28. As thou spakest by the servant Moses, in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children.
Go ahead. Yep. As thou did, as thou spakest by thy servant Moses, in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the who?
Children of Israel.
So he did this before the children of Israel. Keep reading, verse 29.
Saying, if you will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude,
this very great multitude. So we had expanded. Most High told Abraham that his descendants was going to be at the sand of the sea. All right, that's a lot of people. Keep reading. And as the stars of heaven, keep reading.
And shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them.
Where he will what?
I will scatter them.
The Most High only scattered the children of Israel. Right. He only told the children of Israel, if you don't do such and such, this was going to happen to you. That promise was made to us by him. All right. Keep reading.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
And that's what we're going through right now, right here in this land of our captivity. Because we're right now, we just read it in chapter 3, we are yet this day in our captivity. So right here in this land, we're not free. I know some of you like to think because you don't have physical chains on that you're free. You are not free. If we are free, then why are you allowing bills to be passed protecting same-sex marriages in interracial marriage, something that goes against the laws of your God. That's why you got to know who you are. Because without knowing who you are, you don't know that this Bible applies to you and your people and nobody else. And that you are held to a higher standard of living. You are held to a higher morality. You are held to a higher integrity. You are. Nobody else. This is about you. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, who make up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. This word is going out to you. This word isn't going out to every nation. This doesn't belong to everybody. All right. The Most High want to get His people right. Right. He wants to get His people to stop sinning, so that He can. It frees up His hands so that He can work on our behalf. You understand that, right? As long as they keep us in sin, they can keep their foot on our neck. Right. But once we stop sinning, then that grip loosens up, because the Most High start fighting our battles and start getting these little victories, which ultimately, as they compile, we'll start to see a bigger picture how we're starting to win and overtake and win in this war that we're in. We have to fight every day when we get up. When we get up, we are in a war. Our mindset should be on who we fighting. We're either gonna fight our flesh, or we gotta fight disinformation that media tries to portray. We gotta fight the curriculums that they try to indoctrinate your kids with. We have to be on guard for everything, so that we don't be sheep that can be led into a field of poison ivy to pasture on. Like no, that's not we don't have that type of shepherd. Right now we have the type of shepherd that's leading us into these poison ivy fields with the Christian pastors. All right. But here in the ISUPK, we have a leader and the general leaders that are setting the example of and giving us that good food so that we can grow by the milk of the word, and then meat. All the breakdowns of all the scriptures. General Muhammad says, he challenges you. He says, ask all your questions. I'll give you the whole meaning of life. And it's just so glorious the way he just says it. It's just so eloquently said, you know what I mean? And then goes and just do in everything that he says that he's going to do. Every question that comes up gets answered. You understand? And if he can't answer it, he will say, and I've heard him say this before, I have to ask Commander General, I have to get back with you on that, just to refresh my memory. You know, so like this is what we ought to do. We ought to always not leave the traditions that we have been given. We have been given the right traditions here in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, and we have to uphold these right traditions so that we can keep this school strong, because that's the only way that we're going to get out of this captivity, is that we're all in like-mindedness. We all have one mind, one faith, one vision, you know what I mean, one purpose, and we're working as different parts of that body towards that one purpose, which is to wake our people up and to show our people that we have to come back to our power. We have to come back to our God, the nigger God. We got to come back to that God, right? Not this. Let me get that sign real quick. Not this God, because Christian church will tell you that this guy is God right here. Let me take this off the screen so y'all can see when I'm getting ready to show you. Christian church will tell you that this bastard here is God. This guy here, they'll tell you that he's God. He is not God. This is not the Most High God. The Most High don't even look like him. at all. You understand? Like they started wrong. He don't even have white. Like they started wrong with the description. Period. The description says hair white as wool, as white as snow. like. Where is that at in this picture? There's nowhere in this picture. And then where's the dark skin? Skin that's like bronze or brass, as burned in the furnace. Where is that at in this image? That's 2 strikes. That's 2 strikes. Like his facial hair isn't the right color. 3 strikes. His eyes aren't the right color. 4 strikes. Yahushua didn't have degenerate eyes. He don't have blue eyes. This is a blue-eyed devil right here. That's what this is. Why, Lord, we got a blue-eyed devil right here. And he has been passed off as your God. And that's why we treat these people the way we treat these people. That's why we give them the reverence that we give them, and we fear to put them in their proper place in our hearts. You know, and that's what we got to do. We got to put them in their proper. Everyone, every other nation, if they ain't Black, Hispanic, or Native Indians, they are beneath you, and you need to know that. You need to operate just like that. That's right. You know, Yahushua said, "Behold, He sent us out as sheep among wolves. So be wise as serpents and harmless as doves." So we got to be wise here. All right. But we're not, we're not, what was I just talking about? What was I just talking about?
He was on the,
I just got a blank for some reason. I don't know why I just got a blank. What was I about the laws, right? We're in Baruch. Right. Did we get down to, we didn't get down to 33. What verse were we on?
I'm on 30 right now, sir.
Okay, we got to get down to 33. So you can keep reading from where you're at.
Sir. Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That we aren't to keep acting like we are a part of this nation, a part of these people, a part of this democracy. That's the word they like to use. We got to use the words that they like so that our people can know what we're talking about. We're not a part of the democracy. We're not a part of the politics of the United States. We don't take part in none of that. As Israelites, we are not to take part of that. We are to be holy. We are to be concerning with ourselves, with our nation, and gathering ourselves together as a nation. You know what I'm saying? In dealing with our people, let them do whatever it is they're doing. But as long as it shouldn't interfere with what we got going on. Right. You know what I mean? But we have to come back to that place, so that we can come back to that place of respect in ourselves, within ourselves, to say, okay, I'm gonna treat my brother like a brother from now on, no matter what it takes. Right. Be mindful of even talking against your brother with anyone from any other nation or sister. You know what I mean? With anyone from any other nation, don't talk bad about your brothers or sisters. You know what I'm saying? You take this, even if you may not agree, you may not like the people, you don't add to it. You got to use wisdom, like Yahushua said. We have to use wisdom. All right? Keep reading.
Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God.
The Lord who?
Their God.
That's possessive. Their God. He's not saying he's the Lord of everybody. He's saying he's the Lord, our God. Go ahead.
For I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name.
And that's exactly what we're doing here in the Isupk. We're thinking on the Most High, and we're thinking upon His name. We're praising Him right here in our land of captivity. I don't know who said we couldn't keep the commandments and all that stuff, and keep his laws while we're not in the land. Like, you got a lot of different weird doctrines out there. Like, they saying that for some doctrines, they say that you have to be in Israel in order to keep like the high holy days, like basically to keep the commandments. That's the way I translate that, because we are commanded, as long as we in our generations, as long as we're still generating, to keep these high holy days and these feast days. Like, we have one coming up this Saturday. It's called the Feast of Dedication. If you are in Delaware, you come on out to 202 North DuPont Boulevard. It's going to be right here in Smyrna, Delaware. As of now, it may change. Just be aware, it may change. We may end up going up to Philly with Commander General Yohana. All right, so just be on standby for that. I know that's just like what, 2-3 days away, so just be on standby for that. But yeah, we have our own things that we are commanded to do in Scripture. All right, and these things we do with joy. Like these feast days that we have like this one coming up is 8 days, I believe. Like, I believe the Feast of Dedication is an 8-day celebration, right? So we're not gonna get together every day, but think about it, how good that would be when we can start keeping these feast days the way that the Bible prescribed. Every single day, we out there having a good time, partying it up. That's what it's gonna end up. It's a party. It's a celebration, man. It's like this is a joyous occasion because of what the Most High did. Him giving Judas Maccabeus and his brethren the victories over the Greeks to be able to rebuild and rededicate the temple. You know what I mean? And that's what this Feast of Dedication is all about. And we'll probably go over those scriptures Saturday. All right. Go ahead, read 33.
Verse 33. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord.
Right. Because we're going to remember the way, because before our fathers sinned, they were keeping, we received the law. All right. We're the only nation that received the law. You read that in the book of Psalms earlier when dealing with the saints. Right. How we are the only nation that ever made a sacrifice by blood unto the Most High, and made a covenant with the Most High by blood. We're the only nation that has done that. No other nation has done that. So we are the nation that's going to suffer the consequences for breaking our oath every single time. Like, we got to keep and now is the time that we have to start. We have to start getting rid of those generational curses. Let them end with you. You know what I mean? Right. And let them end with your generation. Let the light come into your family from this moment on. Like think about it. Like there's a light that you are in possession of. Your body is a light to your family members and your specific lineage. You know, and if you love your family, your lineage, you will allow that light to shine as bright as possible, so that all your family, our family, can know that we have a culture that's ours. Right. That we don't have to be like and try to be like everyone else that's around us. These nations that are around us, whom the Lord told us not to be like. He told us, don't be like these nations around us. We just read in Deuteronomy 7 about and a lot of people like to stop with those just those 7 nations out of ignorance. I remember before coming into the UPK, I used to listen to different Israelites in different groups in different camps or whatever online, and I remember hearing a doctrine about about if the nations ain't mentioned in the if those nations ain't mentioned, if like they were trying to get a license to actually have a heathen, basically, because they were actually basically saying, all right, it's just those 7 nations that the Lord told us not to deal with. He ain't say nothing about, I don't see Edom, I don't see Esau there, I don't see Moab there, I don't see Elam there. Like this is a camp. This is what they teach their people. You know what I mean? That's the detriment of not coming into the truth. Not coming back to what started right here in Isupk. We started this shit. Let's just come back home. Exactly. All right, come back home, then you won't be teaching that goofiness out there, and you can get the correct doctrine so that you can build up the nation together with us instead of dividing the nation with the doctrines that you're teaching. You know what I mean? Your mouth must be shut. And that's basically why you're there, to be an example for the rest of the world on what not to do. Because once you run across us, we're definitely going to destroy you. And that's just the track record of the Isupk under Commander General Yohan. And that's because the Lord is with the Isupk.
Yeah, right.
Period. All right. Man, I said I wasn't going to have much, and I said I wasn't going to be long with this. I can't. That's shot my load that quick. 809. All right, let me get some more scriptures then. Good night.
Oh, what you said.
First Kings. Let me get First Kings.
I do have one question.
Good.
I'm trying to find the Bible verse, and I may be wrong about what I might be taking 2 different verses, but I know that this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this place is, the daughter of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Bible verse that says, because I was trying to, I thought I had written it down, but it says that Babylon, which is spiritually Egypt and Sodom, or am I just taking 2 things?
You're combining. I think you're combining some things on what you just said. I think you're combining some things, but you are correct, and that's you go to Revelations chapter, I believe it's 18. Hold on a second.
Yeah, 11, Revelations 11 and 8, I think.
It's 11.
The one that says Sodom and Egypt.
Yeah. 11 and 8. All right, that's one. That's one precept for Egypt. Another one, you can go to 2nd Esdras. For Egypt, let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 5. I think this is 15. Chapter 15, 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. Starting with verse 10. Basically 10 down to 19 is a good one for Egypt. If you want to read 10 through 12 real quick, we can for those at home, he was asking for precept about, actually you asked about the Babylon, the daughter, you said the daughter of Babylon?
Kind of, so I was, I understood that America is the daughter of Babylon. and I understand that this place is also spiritually Egypt and Sodom. But I wasn't sure if there was a verse that kind of combined the two, which actually said Babylon is spiritual Sodom and Egypt. But it looks like I was just combining.
Well. All right. I think you're combining all of it because of the Book of Revelations. I think that's why. I think that's why you're combining all of those three. Them three, the Babylon, spiritual Egypt, and Sodom. I think you're doing that all out of Revelation.
Right.
All right. Let's get Second Ezra 10. Hold on a second. Let me get it. Not 10. Second Ezra 15 and 10.
Okay. You want me to start now?
Hold on a second. Yeah, you can go ahead and read it.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
They what?
Are led, or Salaki.
Go ahead, read from top, Salaki.
Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
His people. And we know, we read earlier that the Most High chose Israel, chose Jacob. It wasn't for nothing that we've done that he chose Israel, because he did it before he was even born. Keep reading.
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. And
as what?
As before.
You gotta read that real slow, because it may slip by you. Read verse 10 again.
Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
Right. We're led as flock to the slaughter right here, right now. And he says what?
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before.
So if he's saying he's going to smite Egypt and he's telling us that right now his people are in this Egypt, and he's going to smite this Egypt with plagues as before. So he's referencing what already took place in the book of Exodus. So this lets you know that this is not talking about the Exodus account. He's calling somewhere else Egypt. That's exactly what this verse is letting you know, that Egypt is synonymous with some other word, and that word is bondage, because that's what in the book of Exodus chapter 20, I think in verse 2, Egypt is bondage. All right. And that's what we're under here, right here in America right now. We're in bondage. Like, we're not free people, because if we were, we wouldn't be allowing this respectful marriage. We wouldn't have a need for a respectful marriage act, because the bed would be what? Undefiled. The marriage is honorable in the bed, undefiled. So say the scriptures. So if we're doing everything properly, that meaning receiving the law, keeping the law, loving God, keeping the commandments to show that we love God, with all that tied up, bundled together, you know that we are not going to break his commandments, because we're doing his commandments, because we're showing that we love him. So therefore, we're not going to have gay marriages or gay unions, and we're not going to have a problem with homosexuality, because we know that that's a sin. We're not going to have a problem with these different sexual sins. We're not going to have a problem with adultery, because that's a sin. We're not going to be having a problem with these things. So we won't need a law telling someone to respect someone's decision to openly say they're going to go against God and they hate God. Basically, openly saying that they hate God. That's what that homosexuality, that LGBTQ movement, that is a violent movement. General Muhammad said all the time, they are violent, and they are an adversary to the Most High. All right, they are in direct opposition to life itself. Direct opposition. Like they're selfish bastards. Like they are. They're just selfish. And we have to guard our minds so that we don't have this lackadaisical mentality where we're going to just allow anything to occupy our space. We're just going to allow anything to go on within our nation. No, rebuke and correction is the way of life. Scripture says, and as long as we're doing that to each other, that's how we keep this nation holy. We keep this nation in good standings with the Most High. Go ahead, yeah, Jana.
I'll just leave it alone. So I can.
You sure?
All right. I was just gonna say now, what you said was heavy because you said the LGBT movement and the general has said it was a violent movement, and we see that people on that lifestyle can be very violent. And I remember the whole controversy with Brittany Griner. At one point in time, she wasn't in the news for being in Russia. She was in the news for domestic abuse.
Right.
So you absolutely right.
Right. And with the person that they're trying to make, look. They will pull the wool over your eye quick, man. Look, they don't want you. They stifle all the negative press that was going on between them two women's relationship. You understand? Because I don't think they were even together like that when she was in Russia. I think they was on the outs or something. I had seen a report that they was on the outs or something like that. Now all of a sudden, I just couldn't wait to get her back. It's so disgusting to me. And this is what they portray in the media so that they can deceive the minds of the simple. Like don't be one of these simple-minded folks. All right, don't be a simpleton. All right. So yeah, that was it for the Egypt scripture. I know that one right there. You probably have in your precept book. That's going to be a good one to keep on deck to show that this place is actually Egypt, and that's what it shows. It shows that we are yet today in captivity. We're yet in bondage because a free people wouldn't choose to have a society roaming around with flaming homosexuals and cross-dressers and a whole bunch of weird stuff that's going on that you see. Like a free people wouldn't do that. Like you're gonna tell me if you're telling me you're free, you're telling me this is the conditions of the society that you want. This is the type of neighborhood that you want to live in. Gangs in drug infested neighborhoods. Like this is really the life that you chose to do as a free person. Right. Nah, that don't make sense to me. It don't make sense.
Right.
Like if you're not thinking, you have been deceived. All right. This is not freedom. It's not. All right. We gotta make do with what we have while we're here. All right. We're not supposed to lay down. We're supposed to build up while we're here. But this place isn't our rest. Let's get that. Where's that at? I think that's in Hosea, right? I believe it's in Hosea. Give me 1 second. Because a lot of our people they get too comfortable. They don't know what they don't know. Oh, it's Micah. Micah 2:10.
I'm coming to it. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Arise and do what?
Depart.
So what's break that verse down. Break that first part down real quick, if you can. Do you know what that means? Arise ye and depart. What did that mean?
This is Micah talking to Israel. I mean, it's just telling them
is it telling you to move back to Africa or go back to Israel or something weird like that? It's not telling you. You don't. When you read that, you don't get that, right? See, that's what an unlearned unlearned Christian, an unlearned Israelite, an unlearned Jake would ignorantly do. They would ignorantly pack up their kids, pack up all their belongings, and move over to Israel. They got a place called Dimona, that's proof of that. Mm-hmm. It's over there in Israel right now. A settlement of Israelite brothers and sisters that went over there, and they had this in order to get the like you're telling me you're going over there because that's your home and you're free, but you got to fight in their military in order to get the residency or in order. It just don't make sense. It don't add up to freedom to me. None of this adds up to freedom to me. I don't know what they understand freedom to be, but it just doesn't look like that in my opinion. It should look like it should look at least similar to what the hell these people oppressors are doing to us. It should at least look similar to that. I know it should bypass it by 1,000 miles, but we should at least be similar to that. But no, we are on the bottom of everything, and we just get used by everybody until we just can't get used up. They got an endless supply. They have an endless supply. Good night. Like if they don't think about this, if we don't get our act together, we have given the enemy, our oppressors, an endless supply of riches, which is us. Right. We are the commodity. We're the commodity. Where will make this nation one? We are the people. We damn near every what was that? Was that yesterday or the other day? Or somebody was talking about the patent office was their best creation that they came up with was the patent office. We was having a conversation somewhere. I can't place it, but invention. But yeah, their best invention was the patent office because they stole every original idea that we had. Our intellectual property, they stole it. And now when we look things up, a white face will pop up as the father of quote unquote this or that or this or that. Like they got a place called Mount Rushmore where they talking about the discovery of this place where they didn't carve the faces of these devils in rock like good night. Good.
Salakia. I don't know if how
is that mic on? I don't hear it. Speak up.
Testing.
Good, yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but I heard beforehand the Native Americans had Mount Rushmore as something for their remembrance, and it was something that kind of looked like something they reverenced, and then Esau knew that and then just took and scraped over and made it their faces. Mm-hmm. So I tried to look it up, but didn't put too much into it. But I heard that was the case.
Right. I don't know about that, but man, like just think about it. They take everything because that's the matter of fact. It was me. Matter of fact, on Monday, that's when we was talking about this because that's what they've been blessed with. They've been blessed with the sword, and with the sword, you can just take what you want by violence. You know what I mean? They are a violent, bloodthirsty people. Yeah. And they can't live without making someone's life miserable. Keep reading.
Come on, constant. Arise thee and depart, for this is not your rest.
This ain't what?
Your rest.
This ain't your rest right here. Where we're at, this isn't our rest. We shouldn't be thinking like, we shouldn't be in the mindset that like this economy is something that we have to get our foot into, because in order for us to get ahead as a people, we really got to get into these politics, man. Oh, we got to get into these Bitcoins, man. Oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. No, we ain't got to do none of that. We got to love each other and support each other, and we will build up together that way. All this stuff is getting burnt down. It's going to come down. It's going to come crashing down in an hour at tops. An hour. Christ ain't playing games when he come back. He's going to make quick work of this place. He's going to make quick work of these oppressors. Quick work. His so quick that his garment going to be waist deep blood, vested, dipped in garment and blood. Oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be glorious. Like that. It's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be glorious, man. To know that the Most High ain't standing for someone treating his people just any old way and just gonna let it slide. Because if we fall for Christianity's doctrine, that God just gonna let it slide, because we're gonna be in heaven right along with our oppressors. We both have because we're both calling ourselves Christian. We're both following Jesus. Jesus, and we're both like. So they're gonna rule us in heaven too. Like, when do we get a break from these devils? We will never get a break. They made it so that we always be under them, even after death. So you know they got to be the devil the Bible speaks of. Like we can never get a break. And that's how they think of us. All right. Let's get scripture on the homosexuality, because we didn't get a scripture on that to let you know that the Most High doesn't approve of that. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. And then I'm gonna let y'all go.
That's a lot here, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I looked it up real quick. It was called the Six Grandfathers. That's what the natives called it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And that was they were pictures up there.
They had pictures. No. But it was something that they reverenced as far as like directional. It was some pride heathen.
But you're saying because you said I heard you say that Esau scraped it and put their faces there earlier. So it was something in that spot.
So no, there was no images, but it was just the way that it was shaped naturally. That they.
Okay. So and naturally the oppressor had to tear it up, because we appreciate the way things are naturally. It don't look good enough. I gotta put these four faces up here to make this place look good now. Oh, now it looks good. The natural beauty just wasn't good enough. Like this, they got to be the devil the Bible speak of, man. If that don't nice. They had to whitewash nature. Like that's crazy. Like they whitewash everything. Yep. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because they hate us so much. Because look, they hate us so much that if it's something that we love, they got to tear it down. They got to tear it down. They got to tear down our God, the God that we serve. They have to destroy that God from our consciousness, and that's what they were in effect able to do through the Hellenization period and so forth and so on. They were able to erase our power from our mind, so now we here in 2022. We don't know what it's like to serve the Most High. Not like it was when Christ was walking the earth, or when the prophets were walking the earth. Like, it's so much confusion nowadays because we're in the midst of Babylon. Like I said earlier, this is mystery Babylon. Babylon means confusion. And this place is full of confusion. They said we take. I forget how the ad went, but the old ad where they wanted everyone. They said we take everybody. We'll take them all. Just send us all your immigrants. We'll take them all. Like that's a melting pot over here. Come over here. And they take care of everybody that came over here way better because they know that they know consciously, even though they beef, they know that they the same people. You know, they know that they the same people. Even just like we know we the same. Some of us know now we're coming to the realization that we're the same people, but we are the same people: Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. You see how we don't necessarily quote unquote look alike. That's just with the white man. They got their little subdivisions too. Like right now, you got Russia going against Ukraine right now. That's their problem. That's like white on white crime to me.
Exactly.
That's what it look like to me. Like that ain't my business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Let them fight their own wars. That's why I don't encourage nobody to join Esau's military, man. If you can find another gig, get it. Don't, because you had to compromise. You're not going to be able to fully come into yourself and the love for your people because you're going to be. You got to follow orders here in the military, and if they tell you to go fight against your people, you got to go fight against your people, or refuse it and go to the brigade and get locked up or whatever and get charged with whatever they're going to charge you with, you know. But it's a lose-lose situation if you join Esau's military. You may think you're winning, but it's a lose-lose situation because you're just doing nothing but further oppressing your own people, further destroying your own people. And this is why when them yokes of iron came off our necks, the Bible says that we are destroyed. This is why we're destroyed, because we go forth and full steam ahead with Esau's program, with the Oppressor's program. We got it on autopilot right now. This thing will run itself. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when I was like 23 or 24, I was gonna join Esau's military. But on the day I had to go take that, some called the ASVAB test. On the day I had to go take the test, my car broke down, and I didn't go. Now I think back, I think the Most High ain't go.
Damn right, Most High Christ. A lot of that. Most High. Damn right. I've never. It never made sense to me. I can distinctly remember growing up saying, fight, because I remember being treated like I remember racism growing up as a kid. You know what I mean? I was born in '73. So we were the first Black family to move into the neighborhood that we moved in. So I experienced racism growing up. So I know what it's like to not be liked by these people. You know what I mean? So why fight for? It never made sense to me to join and fight for them when they wouldn't fight for us here. Like why are we going through? It just never made sense. It always seemed like a contradiction in my mind. That's why I was growing up. Military never made it. My dad was in the Navy, but I never had that mindset. Well, I was like, I'm going to serve I never thought of it as my country. I honestly can think back and say I never thought of this place as my country. I never thought of it as that. I never felt like I should put my life on the line to defend this place or nothing like that. I can't understand. I can't explain it, but I never felt that way for this place. And I see why now. That when I got up in age, and my eyes got open to this truth, and I see why. So, you know, we just got to rest and carry on with this thing, man, so that we can keep waking our people up, so we can keep being this light, so this truth can grow even more. You know what I mean? So, anybody got anything to add? All right. And that being said, you pass class over to priest and officer, Thashion.
All right, this is the Isupk security announcement. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if you have an interest in a particular person, seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, Ma'asharah, a tenth in Hebrew. That's 10% of any increase the Lord give to you. All right, give it back. We got a box here, and we got a box at the school. And look, you can send your tithes in to Commanding General Yohana. All right. Free will fund, free will priest fund. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you may give. All right. Up and coming holy convocations. We got the Feast of Dedication. All right. The Feast of Dedication as of right now will be right here in Smyrna, 202 North DuPont Boulevard, Smyrna, Delaware. All right. Stay in tune, because it might be switching. And we might be going down to Philly, because Commander General Yohana will be in the building, all right, for the Feast of Dedication in Philadelphia, all right? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, scarf, and headband, and saying that, Amidra. We're going to give the brothers a courtesy salute. Amidra Shabbat, Amidra, Barak, Yahaba Hashem Yahashah Barakatham, Yahya Matah, Sar means to turn, Amidra to the sisters, that means stand. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Amidra Shabbat, Amidra, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Al-Dhamba Hashem Yahashah, Yahya Matah, class dismissed. Yeah, let's get these chairs down. You can just take that down.